It is February 25th, 2025, and this is Rebel Rundown. I'm your host, Andrew Stroud. After UNLV finds a way to defeat the San Jose State Spartans by a score of 77-71 final away in San Jose. I'll talk about my initial post-game reaction as well as where we stand as far as seeding and placement goes ahead of the Mountain West tournament. UNLV improves to 15-13 overall and 9-8 in conference play, whereas San Jose State drops to 13-16 on the season, and in the standings of the Mountain West, they drop to 6-12. First off, I'd like to say thank you so much, Jaden Henley. Henley was the reason we won this game. Bedford also gave us some minutes and some points as well as Bear Cherry. Those three really provided as far as points went and overall minutes as well. I mean, Jaden Henley, he played for 39 minutes in the game. He only missed 1 minute. I don't even remember the minute he got subbed in or subbed out. Julian Rishwain, he played for 37 minutes, and obviously this is without DJ Thomas. Bear Cherry, he only had 27 minutes. Bedford had 26, but he came off the bench. Also, I forgot to mention Jalen Hill. He played for 38 minutes, and he had 17 points, but the high scorer today was Jaden Henley with 22. Just an overall, it was one of the most balanced games I've seen as far as everyone contributing in the game. Brooklyn Hicks did not play great. He was a starter. He had 0 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He went 0% from the field, and he was a starter. So I guess you could say that Jalen Bedford took his place because he had 13 points and 3 rebounds. Went 6 of 11 from the field. That's a lot better. Our 3-point record still remains today. Rishwain, he hit a big one at the end. Only 3 for 8 today, but that was 3 for 7, which that's decent. And Jalen Bedford, he was 1 for 3. Henley was 1 for 4. We hit some big time threes when we needed them to go in, so that was big as well. When you look at the game tracker, there was that moment in the first 5 to 7 minutes in the second half where the Rebels just went on a bit of a run there. I think we made it a lead all the way to 9 in like the first 5 minutes of the second half. But give credit to San Jose State. They found ways to stay in the game. And when you don't look, or when you look at every point in the game besides that one run we had early in the second half, it was just a tight game. Like you have to say that, and you have to give credit to San Jose State. You cannot be easy on any team in the Mountain West. You saw it with Air Force. They beat Fresno State. And so Air Force, actually, they're not even last place in the conference right now because only Fresno State has, I think Air Force also has 1 win, but they beat Fresno State. Fresno State only has 1 win. And when you look at it, we almost lost to Fresno State. We were losing with, 30 seconds to go in Fresno. And that's a bit of an issue, but you could just say it with the rest of the conference. You know, the conference just loves beating up on each other. That's why it's just such a competitive conference, and that's why it's such a gritty conference as well. Now, where I will move this to is where are we as far as standings go and where we stand as the seedings go in the Mountain West tournament. If you don't know, or you might have forgot, I'm not blaming you at all for any of that, But if you don't know how the conference tournament works, there are 11 teams. The conference tournament starts on a Wednesday, ends on a Saturday, with the championship live on CBS. Wednesday, March 13th, 6 through 11 play that day. Thursday is where 1 through 5 has a bye. That's when their first games are played. That's why usually you would want to be in the top 5. That's just what you would want. But you sometimes cannot get that. So where do we want to be? And when you look at the schedule, or you look at the standings right now, it does not look like we are going to be a top 5 team in the Mountain West. I don't think we even have a genuine shot. And I could break it down. I will right now. 5th place is Boise State. They are 11-5 on conference. I might have to update it right now. I'll look at Fox Sports because CBS Sports, they haven't updated their standings. They say we're 8-8. We're actually 9-8 right now in the Mountain West Conference. Standings, this is updated. Boise State still is 11-5. They did not play today as far as I know. However, UNLV's 9-8. What we would have to do is we would have to win our last 3 games, and Boise State would have to lose their next 3 games. I don't even know how many games they have left. They have 4 games left. They play Utah State. That could be a loss. But they play at Fresno State, at Air Force, and then they play Colorado State. So even if, let's say, Boise State loses against Utah State and Colorado State, because Colorado State is one of the hotter teams, if not the hottest team in the Mountain West Conference. I mean, Colorado State, they're 3rd place right now in the Mountain West Conference. I mean, that's crazy to think about. San Diego State is 4th place, but Boise State is 5th. This is where I like to ask this question. Do you remember the last time that UNLV has won in a quarterfinal game, obviously in the Mountain West tournament? I don't remember. And I think when I look it up, I think it's either from 2008 to 2013. That is the last time we have won, or we have moved on to the semifinals. Not in the NCAA tournament, in the Mountain West tournament. That's how horrible and terrible it is to be a UNLV fan as far as rooting your team in the Mountain West Conference tournament. And that's, I literally, all I remember is us losing in the quarterfinals. I remember 2019-2020, we lost against Boise. These are all games in the quarterfinals where we lost. 2020-2021, we lost against Utah State. I think we were the 6th seed. We had to play the 3 seed, or we were the 7th seed. We had to play the 2 seed after we beat like Air Force or someone. So we lost Utah State. Then back from COVID, there was the 2021-22 year. First year with Kevin Kruger, we lost against Wyoming. That was Bryce Hamilton's final season. Then with E.J. Harkless, and I remember Shane Noel, because we were, I think, 6th place. We beat Air Force to move on to the quarterfinal because we didn't get a bye. Boise State did, and we took it to overtime because Shane Noel hit a game-tying 3-pointer at the buzzer to take it to overtime. We lost that game. That was 22-23. 23-24 was last season, and that was when DJ Thomas took the game to extras, overtime, because he had a game-tying shot. Wasn't exactly in the buzzer, or maybe it was. I don't even remember. I should remember because it wasn't like 3 years ago. It was 1 year ago. But he he made the shot, and he almost made a game-tying three-pointer to send it to double overtime. But we still lost. We still lost in the quarterfinals. Now, I think either 3 or 4 of those quarterfinal games, we were either 4th or 5th place in the conference. And I'm sorry, but I think that's unfair. I honestly think it's unfair. Those teams are too good to be playing against each other, and you can argue that they get a bye, so they play each other. Yes, they're really tough teams, and they're both really good teams. They don't really have much of an advantage against each other. But they get the bye. That might be what you would say. What I would say is, well, who would they play after that? Who would they have to play in the semifinals? They would have to play the number 1 team in the Mountain West. So let's think about it this year. Let's say the season ended right now. New Mexico would be the 1 spot. Utah State would be 2. Colorado State would be 3. San Diego and Boise would be 4 and 5. I would hate to be San Diego State or Boise State because, first off, we would have to play either San Diego State or Boise State. Let's say I'm Boise. I'd have to play San Diego State, and then I'd probably have to play New Mexico, which they're 14-2 in conference, 22-5 overall. I still don't know how they aren't ranked. I've been saying this literally a month ago. I think we played them January 25th. It's February 25th right now. They still are not ranked. They've only lost 2 games in the conference. I don't get it. I literally don't understand it. But anyways, now I would much rather be in the 2 or 3 spot, but obviously we are not that good enough. We are not good enough to be in that position. However, I have a weird feeling about this. Like, I would honestly rather play a team like Utah State or Colorado State than a team like Boise State. I don't know about San Diego State yet. We already beat them. We already beat San Diego State. And you can even argue, we almost beat New Mexico if, someone made their free throws. I'm not even going to talk about that because DJ Thomas is injured and we're obviously missing him. But, we aren't as bad of a team as many people think we are. I seem like I'm saying this every year. But neither is Nevada. Nevada is not an 8 and 9 squad. They just aren't. They don't deserve that 7 spot. I wish that all 7 of the teams, the top 7 teams, would be able to go to the NCAA tournament, but that's just not how it's going to work. It's not going to happen. Now, speaking of the schedule that UNLV has, their last 3 games, and this is the big one coming up this Friday, they play Nevada in the Thomas & Mack Center, 8 p.m. this Friday on FS1. This game basically determines who's getting that 6th spot. And you might think that it's not that big of a deal. I think it's a big deal. I do really think it's a big deal because of just the fact that the 2 and the 3 spot, whoever you might play against, obviously the 6th seed would play the 11th seed. The 7th seed would play the 10th seed. I'm not worried, too worried at least. Maybe we might lose against Fresno State. We almost lost to Fresno in Fresno, but I'm not just making assumptions here. But I would like to say, imagine we beat Fresno, or maybe it's Air Force. Maybe Fresno wins a game here and there. Anyways, back to the point. If we play the 11th seed, I would rather play the 11th seed than the 10th seed. That's my personal opinion. And then, obviously, I would rather play 3 against 2, especially if, in the standings, Colorado State is the 3 spot. If we could play decently against Colorado State with missing, 10 free throws in the last game against Colorado State, and still having chances to win the game without our star player in DJ Thomas, I would gladly be that 6th spot and beat the last place team in the conference and play the 3 seed. I would much rather have that than be a 4 or 5 spot having to play a 4 or 5 place team and then the next day having to play a team like New Mexico. And another thing is, many people say that the bye is completely necessary. I don't think so. You know who won the tournament last year? It was New Mexico. You know what place they were? They were 6th. They were 6th place. Many people forget that New Mexico had to win the four straight games in 4 days. And many people think that's a challenge. But honestly, if your team just stays healthy throughout those 4 days and, no cramps or whatnot, you might have cramps, but if you just stay, if you don't get badly injured, and I hope DJ is back, and that's where I will also I'll also talk about DJ. And what is the strategy about having DJ Thomas? What games is he going to play? Are they going to wait for Reno, or are they going to wait for the tournament? But I would much rather have you could say a practice game, even though it's not a practice game, it's an elimination game. But you can almost think of it as a practice round. You're still trying your hardest, but you're seeing what your team does in the tournament. And yes, it's against the last place team, but it's practice. It's real practice in preparation against a 2 or 3 ranked team. That is good. That is great. Okay? I think that's a win. But now about DJ. This is the biggest part. Honestly, I don't know what UNLV's strategy is. Would you make DJ play? Or I don't think making DJ play is the right word. I think DJ will want to play on Friday against Reno to maybe get revenge. Because he hasn't actually beaten Reno yet. He has not. Reno has a 3-0 streak, a 3-game winning streak, against us. And DJ has not won against Reno. I think he might try to play against Reno. And I heard something about his dad saying something about his health. I didn't know if it was good or bad. I didn't hear it. I need to do some more research on that. However, I think that UNLV has to make a decision now. Do you play DJ against Reno, or do you wait until the tournament? Do you, honestly, what I would think, maybe play DJ against Reno, and if you beat Reno, I assume, and when I look at the standings, Nevada's 8-9, UNLV's 9-8. After we play each other, we play the same teams again. Both of us play New Mexico and San Diego State on our final 2 games of the season. So honestly, I don't think we're both going to go undefeated. I don't think that UNLV is going to lose the 2 and Nevada's going to win the next 2. I just don't think that's going to happen. It might happen. I don't think it will. Anyways, DJ Thomas, maybe they have a plan of having DJ for the Nevada game, which is huge. This literally basically determines the 6th spot. If Nevada wins on Friday, they will pretty much get the 6th spot because they swept us this year. And I don't think UNLV is going to beat both San Diego State. Doesn't matter that it's on senior night. Just San Diego State's a tough team. They're going to want their revenge over, us beating them in Viejas Arena. And also us against New Mexico in the pit on their senior night. I don't think we're going to do it. I genuinely have no confidence in us achieving that and successfully doing so, in winning the last 2 games when we can't even beat Reno. So this game on Friday, it's a big game, and especially when you're looking at the tournament, you're not going to get a top 5 spot. You're not looking at the bye. So what is the best spot you can get now? And that is the 6th spot. And it's not impossible to win the tournament, it's not impossible to win the tournament if you're in that 6th spot, because New Mexico did it last year. That will end it for today or tonight, because I'll upload this at around 11 p.m. But at least I've been better as far as the schedule goes and being on top of it as far as the games, trying to have a instant reaction almost post game after the games, and hopefully it's better now. As an update, I just want to let you guys know that I will probably start my episodes on Spotify, and I'll work from there. But that is where I'll probably start podcasts as well. I'll stay on YouTube as well. Might start shorts if there's a moment in for example this recording that I might want to post on YouTube shorts to get more attention. I just want to get more attention so that I could get more followers or subscribers, whatever, comments, likes, whatever will get me some views and some shares. Hope you guys can share it to other people, especially if they're Rebel fans. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you. I'll probably get to have another recording Friday night after hopefully UNLV defeats Nevada to hopefully achieve that 6th seed in the Mountain West Conference.